Do you want an easy technique that can change everything for your selling? For some reason, most salespeople use a very similar sales approach. And what this also means is that they are consistently missing out on some of the most critical and valuable sales techniques out there. This is costing salespeople tons of money in lost sales. In particular, there is one technique that I would argue is most overlooked. And by this simple technique, you will unquestionably close more sales. In this video, I'm going to show you possibly the most overlooked sales technique in the universe. Now, before I get into the specifics of the technique, let's identify the problem. And here's the issue, is that most salespeople are answering questions from prospects without knowing why the prospect asked the question in the first place. So let's take a standard, simple type of a prospect question that a prospect may ask you, or may ask at least certain types of salespeople. Simple question. Do you come on site for the initial installation? Imagine you're asked that by a prospect. How do you respond? Now, chances are a salesperson is going to be compelled to say, yes, of course, we're on site for that initial installation. But you don't know why the prospect asked that question in the first place. They may, like you imagined, want you to come on site for the initial installation. But what if they have a lot going on in the office right now? They're moving, or there's a lot of construction, or there's a lot of disruption right now, and they actually don't want you on site for the initial installation. This could actually end the sale right there with the wrong answer. Now, whether you relate to the specifics of that question or not, you can probably see how this would apply to any selling situation. There are typical questions that your prospects are asking you, and unless you know exactly why they're asking that question, you don't want to jump to answer the question. We need to start to learn why the prospect asked the question in the first place. And that's where the technique comes in. It's called the swim move. Now, for my football fans out there, you may know what a swim move is in football. If you don't, I'll just explain it very simply. You have an offensive player and a defensive player. And for example, when I played football as a kid, I was on defense. And so my goal was to break through the line. And I was typically smaller than the guys that I was up against. The guy I was up against was an offensive lineman who might have been double my size. So I had two options. I could try to go right through the lineman, or I could use the lineman's force to my advantage. Because the lineman is typically pushing at me and he's bigger and stronger, all I had to do was let him use that force and come around and go right through and break through the line. Thus, the swim move. We're literally swimming through. The same thing is true for sales. We want to understand where that prospect is going with any question. And so I'm going to show you exactly how a swim move might work. If they ask us a question like, do you typically come on site for the initial installation? I challenge you to respond, instead of by just answering right away, say something like, you know what, that's a great question. Why do you ask that? By doing that, now they're going to reveal why they asked that question in the first place. So again, the structure is you're going to first compliment the prospect by saying, hey, that's a great question, or really interesting question. And then ask, why do you ask that? Can you see how powerful this is? Because now the prospect will start to reveal their intention, because there is intention behind every question that a prospect asks. And once you understand their intention, then you can respond accordingly. Because for most prospect questions, you can answer either way. It's not about being conniving or manipulative. It's just that if you want to be on site for an initial installation, great. If you don't, we can work with that too. It allows you to take control of the selling situation. So there is the possibly most overlooked sales technique in the universe. Have you ever overlooked this sales technique before? If so, what was the result, whether using it or not using it? Be sure to share below in the comments section, and I will respond to every single comment that I can get to. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have an incredible free ebook on 25 tips to crush your sales goal. It's this ebook, it's unbelievable. All you have to do is just click right here to get it instantly. Seriously, it's an amazing book and it's free. Just click right here to get it instantly. Also, if you got some value from this video, please like this video below on YouTube because that really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking right here to get access to a new video just like this one each week. And lastly, if you got just one useful idea from this video, please share it with a friend or two. A great idea is the best gift you can give someone. Until next week.